Hello world, Joe Mallon, American Roof Expert. Want to go over something pretty awesome with you today, and it is overhead and profit. Okay, there's two different things that I think that everyone should know in the roof game when it comes to OMP. Let's say you do the supplements like you should off of every deal, right? And then there's a whole bunch of stuff on there, and you're like, I should be able to get OMP on this. I should be able to get overhead and profit. And the insurance company, they say, well, it's not complicated enough. Then I've got one solution, which is to ask for 5 and 5. Okay, so you can't be mean to them. You can't go off on them, and you can't be, you know, this big guy or whatever on the phone, and think that you're going to get your way with them. So let's say they don't want to pay the 10 and 10. And for anyone that doesn't know, if it's a $10,000 deal and you get OMP, that's 10% and 10%, which is 20%. So a $10,000 deal ends up being $12,000. Okay. But let's say they won't budge. And a lot of adjusters and a lot of desk adjusters and a lot of insurance companies won't budge. It's not complicated. So this is what you say. If it's not that complicated, then can you pay me 5% and 5%? And I've had people be like, yeah, I can do that. And I tell all my clients that too, ask for 5 and 5, especially if they're not giving it up. Okay. So that's a simple way, and it's an easy way to just ask. And that right there will turn a $10,000 deal into an $11,000 deal. That $1,000 is priceless, right? Okay, that's one. Now, the second one is to use an assignment of benefit. Okay, now this isn't legal in every state, but I know for a fact that it's legal in Florida, and I know for a fact that it's legal in Colorado. Okay, so I got some clients, and what they do is on the contract, it has verbiage that makes it make sense to the insurance company that you're taking over the deal for the homeowner. Okay, now if you look up assignment of benefit on YouTube, there's a ton of videos that are done by agencies, insurance agencies in Florida, because they don't like it. Now you got to think to yourself, why don't they like it? Okay. And that is a huge question. So let's say you're doing an assignment of benefit, and let's do it like this. You're a doctor, right? And you get an assignment of benefit waiver signed by someone that you're doing their knee, their ACL, right? It cuts out the person that's getting their knee done, and it makes it so the doctor and the insurance company are able to talk to each other, and they fight against each other, and it leaves out the consumer or the customer or the person that's getting their knee done, right? That works for doctors, but on the other end, it works for roofers too. So if you're a roofer in certain states, and I'm not sure every state, but you can set up assignment of benefit, and then you can go and battle against the insurance company, and you're doing the supplements. Everything looks good on the supplements. Xactimate tells the story. Everything's done. And then what I know is that some of these guys, some of these roof guys, they'll go to arbitration, and then arbitration will give them the OMP, or they'll give them the stuff that is being left out. Like starter strip. So many companies, so many insurance companies are like, we're not going to pay for starter strip. That's and you sit there and you're like, okay, so you're going to pay $600 for the tear off, but then everything that you're leaving out is $1,250. The difference is huge, right? So if you do an assignment of benefits, and then they're taking them to arbitration, and then you can explain using Xactimate what it is. Like there's jargon built into Xactimate. This is why we pay for this. This is how this works. And then you sit there. Now here's the thing. Most people, they don't have lawyers, right? So underneath this video, there's a video of a lady, and she is a lawyer down in Florida, right? And she explains the different insurance company versus this person, insurance company versus this person, insurance company versus this. So it's 3 different ones, and it's them fighting against the insurance company to be able to get the O&P. And here's what she said. She said it's reasonably likely. Reasonably likely. So is it reasonably likely that we're going to have to use a contractor? Yes. If it is, then they should be paying O&P, right? So what you do is, underneath this video again, the first link goes straight to my website. When you click through, watch all the videos that I've got there. I've got one video and it explains lawyer services for every state, right? And it's a product that makes it so they're on retainer. I think it's $39 a month or $89 a month, depending on the size of your company. I use the $89 a month one, and I sit around and I just think of questions to ask to lawyers, you know? And when you do that, like let's say you got a contract, you send the contract to the lawyer. The lawyer looks over the contract and they're like, this is a horrible contract, right? So they revise it, and it's part of the deal, right? You got collection letters. Somebody's not paying you, or they try to steal your O&P, or they try to steal the supplement money, because that's how customers are. And then you have the lawyers send out a collection letter. Think about that, guys. It gives you power. But what you do is you call them and you say, hey, am I allowed to put assignment of benefits in Nebraska? I'm in Nebraska, or I'm in Idaho, or I'm in Illinois, wherever you're at. You ask that question, and then with that answer, you can put it into your contract. And then you can say, here's another question for the lawyers. If they say no, then you say, what is something that is like that in Tennessee that I can use to be able to take over the deal, right? And that way I can take the insurance company to arbitration if they're not going to pay me my supplements, because you did the work. You fought for, okay, you got the cell. You built the roof. You did everything like you're supposed to. You have the insurance. You have everything. You have a lady at the front desk that answers your phone. You have somebody that does your supplements. You're doing everything that you possibly can. And the insurance company's like, you don't deserve O&P. But I do deserve O&P. And think about, like, if you're a good adjuster leaves that money out. That's why we're doing supplements on these roofs, right? So it's a $15,000 roof, but it's not really a $15,000 roof. It's an $18,000 roof. But the adjuster's trained to leave out the $3,000. That is the key. If we owned X insurance company, me and you, we would be like, how do we make it so off every single deal there's $3,000 missing? And you got to look at it like that. And if you look at it like that, then you realize that you can fight a little bit harder. So there's 2 different things. There's 3. First, you just say, okay, I'm not going to take my O&P. I'm not going to take the 20% that's owed to me. And Xactimate tells the story, right? So you just lay down, right? Or you say, hey, and you're real cool and you're real nice, and you say, let me just get 5 and 5. Can I just get 5% and 5%? Because that right there is 10%. 10% on a $20,000 deal is enough money to be happy enough, right? Or you call the lawyers, get started, pay $39 and get everything set up and send them all your paperwork and make sure that your paperwork is solid. and then start asking them questions. Is my website set up properly? Is my contract set up properly? Do I have everything set up the way that I'm supposed to? And once you have all that stuff situated, then you know for a fact that when you're going and doing the work that you're supposed to be doing, you have all your I's dotted and all your T's crossed, and you're just legit. So much better. So much better in life. Just think about it. I think that you should do it. I think that you should start fighting for your money. But you have to be cool with people. You can't just be like, well, you owe me this, blah, blah, blah. You have to have reason. And then you have to have a properly set up supplement. And then you have to legally know what's happening. In the link, you're going to see 2 different links. One's to the website, go through all those different things. And then underneath that, there's a YouTube video to a lawyer that's in Florida. And she's going to explain a good amount of stuff about, also on the website, go to the website, I think it's like the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th video down. It goes into what is assignment of benefits. And then I want you to do this too, because this is interesting. Look up assignment of benefits on YouTube and look at all the agencies that are like, don't let them do this. Why are they doing that? Because they're trying to keep their money. They're trying to keep the insurance company money. Xactimate tells a story. Xactimate is what it is. The insurance company uses Xactimate. Obviously, when you're doing a supplement, that's using Xactimate. And then Xactimate tells the geo-coded, zip code situation for how much they should pay. So if you're in Houston, it's completely and totally different than if you're in Dallas. And if you're in Dallas, it's completely and totally different than if you're in Denver, And then it's completely and totally different if you're in Arkansas. It just depends on where you're at. And there's codes. And the code is the code. And if you got code upgrades and they buy 3 different things, and then they're like, we're not going to pay because it's not. What are you talking about? It is super complicated. Running a freaking roofing company is complicated. And these guys, they're adjusters. So they've got jobs. They're not business owners. They're not keeping track of employees and then people that answer the phone and then insurance and they have jobs. It's not the same. Our lives are complicated. It is what it is. Fight for it. Y'all be good. God, I just went off. I went off because I think that the roofers should get the money. It just doesn't make sense.